I got him running to it. I'ma need the full amount before we talk it out. I'm waking up and thumbing through it. Run a like a runner do it. Stun on her till like a stunner do it. I'm the best, I'm the best. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, you know, go, you know, go.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Empower Field at Mile High. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on 10 between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Denver Broncos. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. Well, it's hard enough to play on the road in this league as it is. But to start on the road with a fumble on the opening kickoff, just not the precedent you obviously want to set.
Not at all, and now it's just words because they've talked about it all week. From the time they start game planning for this one, remember, going into hostile territory, we have to set the tone right in the beginning, and they do the exact opposite.
Solid opening drive so far. Now can they cash in first and goal? Here's Wilson to throw right away. And going for Hamler, but this is intercepted. Picked up by Rock Ya-Sin. And the Raiders force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they prove their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, that's earned it by their play, the psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And brought down, but not before reaching the 25. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Throwing Jones. Buying time to his left. He's got a man, complete. It's a big play there for Vegas. 65 yards. And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy is made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. Here's Jacobs. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Raiders take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And he'll very wisely take a knee here as they'll bring this one out to the 25 on the touchback. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. Not the start that they were hoping for. The interception on the first play of the game. It leads to 6 points the other way. How do you rebound from here? All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Merrick. And he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
Now Jones. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Good, sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
Throwing again on second down. Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Daniel Jones, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 14-0.
Broncos, nothing.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Jonathan Hankins on the tackle. It's a loss of 2.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. To throw again on second down. Wilson.
He'll get this out wide here to Elliott.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He'll get this one to Patrick.
And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. Well, these two teams met up earlier in the year, back in week 4, and it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Ball at the 26, 2nd and 7.
Now Wilson.
He'll get that complete to Alberto. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
We don't see him miss too often. The ball could have slipped a little bit coming off his hand, and that's all it would take to send it high and out of bounds without a play.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
On third down, Wilson.
And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Jerry Jeudy.
A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Broncos are back within a score.
Extra point from McManus is good. And that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Operating from the gun, Jones. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown.
And they're going to get this up to midfield.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10, and he is going to lose yardage here. Bradley Chubb came in and got him.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside, but he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Back to throw. Jones got a man open. It's Darren Waller.
And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Trying to run forward with Jacobs. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Give him 2 on the play there, and it'll give the Raiders a first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. So 8 yards on the completion there, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jones.
That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
Jones now on 3rd and 2.
And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown. And the Raiders go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7.
Raiders 21, Broncos 7.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And, Charles, what a battle this is within the division because these guys, they've got the lead, but not by much. On the other side of the field, they're knocking on the door and trying to equal them in the wins category.
And I love that second part that you talked about, equaling them in the wins category, because if somehow you get down to the end of the year and they're tied in record, head-to-head's always the first tiebreaker. So the winner of this game, they'll have a big advantage.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson.
Right back to Judy, and it's complete.
And all the way home for a Broncos score.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Pulls it in at the 13. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one.
We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Off the play fake. Jones flushed out right. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Now left side on the swing pass. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
from the 24. Wilson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. Finding Elliott for the catch on the out route. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Now it's Wilson. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Here's Wilson to throw. That is caught. And he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time...
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. The gain of 5 that time gives them the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, they're currently the best in the NFL in converting on third down, so it was no surprise there that they picked that one up.
And they've done it in many different ways throughout the season, Charles. Picking it up, running it, throwing it, just effective on third downs all year long. Now Elliott. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Here's the sneak with Wilson, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Broncos get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Wilson going to throw for it. And this is going to be intercepted. Jonathan Abram picks it.
Well, as most teams do in their two-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
They go play action here on first down. Delivering another one here to Darren Waller. He's got it again. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Throwing again on second down. Jones. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover or takeaway, a key sack on third down, a 3-and-out, something lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime in a 5-point game. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game, and to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Wilson. Albert Okwuegbunam, the intended target. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
36 out.
To throw is Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. They got spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
An assortment of sacks in this game. This one the product of a good jump and terrific effort. Moves quickly off the snap of the ball. Doesn't let up until he's in the backfield and impacting the quarterback.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Looking to throw. Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
They certainly had success throughout this contest getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 47. They'll try the right side with Elliott. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Hey, 0-0-0.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has now received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 27-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. A first down carry by Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go to Elliott again. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Wilson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. Taking it right down Broadway. 20, 10, 5. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave him a comfortable lead.
Carlson now to add the extra point. And this one gives his guys a 12-point lead.
Makes the score Raiders 31, Broncos 19.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And they have done themselves absolutely no favors to earn a win today in this one, Charles. The turnover woes continue. On that last drive, they had that fumble that led to a touchdown.
And, Brandon, I would say they have a mission on this drive, and bottom line is protect the football and just put together something that they can let the last drive go. Yeah, it was a bad play. They gave up points, but that doesn't mean it has to go that way the rest of this ball game. Do what you do best on offense and try and put the ball in the end zone yourself.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Now Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Denzel Perryman. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down. If this defense wants to stay in this ball game, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
Here's Jones on third down. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Draymond Jones. He's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up fourth down. Here's A.J. Cole now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves...
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Good.
Throwing is Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jonathan Abram picks it, and they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on him.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
Meanwhile, Jones' throw complete here to Waller.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
Throwing, Jones. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Now Jones. The left side throw complete to Adams. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
Let's go now.
Jacobs will score. Touchdown, Raiders. So an important touchdown right there is now they're really beginning to pull away.
Yeah, this was a tight game until not too long ago. But since then, they've hit the accelerator. And they pushed the lead up to 3 scores here in the fourth quarter. And I don't see them looking back.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will make this a 19-point game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. That 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the fourth quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one. And now here is another interception. Anthony Averett picks it. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. Well, that interception at least offers them a glimmer of hope here in the fourth quarter.
Well, it certainly does if their offense goes out now and makes it pay off by getting into the end zone. And if it does, then they get a chance to get back out on the field and try and do it again. Maybe they can force that offense into more and more mistakes and give them a chance to get back into this one totally.
They have still a 3-score hill to climb. We'll see if they can do it. He's got a man complete. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. A gain of 32 that time. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad. Brandon, once that one broke down, there were only so many options left for him to take. Fortunately, only 1st down, so he smartly got the yardage he could get and didn't worry about trying to turn it into a bigger play and end up taking a bigger loss. Here,
and it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And the Raiders are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here and maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
And here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. Call that a very strong gain of 24. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Off-play action. Jones. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Draymond Jones able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, it's been a little bit of feast or famine because he's thrown for decent yardage, and obviously they've got the lead, Charles, but now he's been sacked 4 times.
And what I'm focusing on is his toughness in the pocket. Because you mentioned the feast or famine part, he's played well in between being dumped on his back. But every time he's had a chance to throw the football, he's been impressive.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Off the play fake, Jones. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Jayon Brown. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will bump the lead up to 26. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Wilson getting right back to it after the pick 6.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. One last shot for Wilson. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go to each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to...
Yeah, that my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the riches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we're not a ride nobody wave, we're the ones who started with it. Translation.
Pretty and paid. Pretty and paid, ayy. Y'all know I'm coming. I don't want to clarify. Keep up. Ayy. I see no biggie. Honestly, I see no biggie. Pay the heavy on pretty. You